HE Double Hockey Sticks was released in 1999. This aired as part of Disney's Wonderful World of Disney on ABC. It's directed by Randall Miller. It's written by David Kukof and Matt Roshkow, based on Griffelkin by Lukas Foss and Alastair Reid. And I probably would have watched this eventually anyway, as part of my efforts to watch every Disney and Disney-adjacent feature film. But because Rhea Perlman is in it, I really wanted to prioritise this. And it was hard to find. I had to buy it from a site that sells rare films. In the UK, at least, it's hard to find. But I have to say, I'm pleased that I spent the time trying to find it and paid the money to watch it, because it's not too bad. This is about Satan, who is played by Rhea Perlman, which is not a role that I was expecting to see her in this film, and I rather enjoyed it quite a lot. And she sends Griffelkin up to the surface of Earth, to make a deal with a hockey player. This is Dave, played by Matthew Lawrence. Griffelkin is played by Will Friedle. And he makes a deal with Dave. In exchange for his soul, Dave's hockey team will win the Stanley Cup Championship. That sounds brilliant, but it definitely isn't as straightforward as that. And I will say no more than that about the specifics of the narrative. But I rather enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun concept, really well executed. I love Rhea Perlman as Miss Beelzebub, and I don't think I'm that biased. Obviously a little bit biased because I love her, but I think her performance was fantastic. And the scenes up on Earth, on the surface of Earth, where the bulk of the film is set, they're really great, really well done. I don't really care for hockey in the slightest, but I still enjoyed those scenes, and I was keen to ultimately find out what would happen. And I had a lot of fun with it. It's not laugh-out-loud funny, but there definitely are moments that are quite comedic, and I certainly enjoyed those. I thought the story was well executed. It's an interesting concept. The characters are great, really well written, really likeable. I'm not seeing any problems, and I say that with a hint of confusion, because, as I said, it was really hard to find. It was hard to track down, and it took a lot of time and effort, and I don't regret spending that time and effort because I was pleased to see it. But I'm surprised that it was hard to track down, because it seems like a pleasant enough, straightforward film, and I'm not entirely sure why that's the case. So if anybody knows, please feel free to let me know why it's not readily available, but I'm not immediately seeing anything that would make that problematic. All I can really think of is that it's the title. The title is obviously hell, if you spell it out, but then given what the film is about, I don't know. I'm trying to find a reason why this would be the case. Maybe there's just some other problem with the distribution rights or something. I don't know. But either way, I thought it was worth tracking down. If you get a chance to see it, I really recommend it. It's good fun. I probably wouldn't watch the film in its entirety again, but I probably would watch Rhea Perlman's scenes. That is me being biased. In that moment, that is definitely me being biased. I probably wouldn't seek them out again were it not Rhea Perlman. But that aside, I still think it's a strong film, a fun story. It's very well done, great performances. I'm not going to say I absolutely loved all of the hockey aspects, but even though I don't like hockey, I still enjoyed those well enough. So I can sum up by saying HE Double Hockey Sticks is a pretty fun film. An interesting concept that's well executed. We have some great characters and performances. Rhea Perlman is fantastic as Miss Beelzebub, and ultimately, I can't really fault it. So if you get a chance to see it, thoroughly recommend it. Ultimately, while it took me, I say it took me a lot of effort to find it. It maybe took me about 15, in fact, it probably didn't even take me 15 minutes, because it was on, I can't remember which site I got it from, but there are a couple of sellers of rare films that I go to, and it was on one of them. So it didn't take me that long, to be fair. I'm making it seem more than it was, but either way, I'm happy to have seen it. And if you get the chance to see it, then I'd say it's definitely worth checking out.